Well, hello everybody. Today we have the Ijoy CAPO squonk, and we have what is that? The Bolt RDA, the Bolt from what is it? Godria something? Godria, I don't know. Godria something. Anyway, what can I tell you? This is actually really a great combination I've been running. Um, let's have a quick vape, and then I'll really talk about it. Hells yeah. Alrighty, so this is a somewhat regulated mod. If you think of it sort of like the old regulated mods that didn't have a ton of features and all this bells and whistles and all this nonsense, this is basically what you get here. It's a great squonk mod. I originally been using the black bottles, but starting last night, this morning, I'm really trying out these bottles, this squishy bottle, and I'll show you more of it in a second. Um, Really, to be honest with you, it's been a pleasure. It's I've been running it for the most part at 70 watts. Okay, 70 watts on a it's a 0.13 ohm coil, and it's registering on my mod as a 0.14 ohm coil, and that's fine because half my mods are like that. They'll show up as zero point 0.13 ohms on one and 0.14 on another, and maybe even 0.12 on another mod. I don't worry about a little point off, something like that. In the reviews, a lot of the reviews, they were saying that they were off by a lot, like say by zero point zero 0.05. So my 0.13 ohm coil would be like a 0.18 ohms or 0.19 ohms. So I would just say that from what I'm seeing, from my experience with this so far, uh, they fixed a lot of little tiny little things that may have showed up in the review models in the reviewers' hands, like they were pre-production models. They were like for testing or for whatever. Um, but what at least I have, okay, the retail version that I have, it kind of fixed a lot of the little nitpicky stuff. So, for example, they complained about the ohms being off by a lot. Mine really isn't that way. They also complained about the door, that it would leave a gap. I can't get mine to gap. No matter what I do, okay, no matter how I put it in, it just never gaps. Okay, I have a bigger gap, in my in the line between my button and the mod. I mean, so I can't get this to gap anymore. Um, let's see what else. Uh, oh, well, you know what? I'm gonna get to something in a moment. Let's have another quick vape, and then I'm really gonna get into this mod. Now, as you can see, it's kicking out 70 watts really, really nicely. I can't complain at all. But this is with a fresh battery. And in fact, I want you to look right here. Okay, if you take a look, you have 5 battery bars. Actually, let's talk about the screen first. This this mod basically works like a mechanical single battery mod, but it has a little regulation. And what it does is it basically you have wattage, you have your battery power, and then you have your ohms. And that's really all you're going to get on the screen. Okay? Um, and I've been running this at 70 watts every day, all day long, with occasional 80-watt bursts every now and then, just to pretend I want to, for shits and giggles, I want to blow a big cloud. So I intentionally blow 1 or 2 puffs at 80 watts, but I don't want to vape too high right now because, like I said, I'm just getting over chest cold and it's too much. You know what I mean? Especially right now, I have very few liquids that are 80-20, mostly 70-30. What am I vaping on now? I'm actually vaping on one of my favorites, my literal favorite, from Casada e-liquids. It's Cannoli Be Breakfast. It's Fruit Loop Cannoli. So that's an 80-20. That's good, right? Nice 80-20. Those really nice clouds at 70 watts. And the battery lasts. Here's one of the things that a lot of people know about me already, but some might not. I'm really interested in small, tiny mods for a long time, and that means single battery mods. And the problem with single battery mods is that battery life sucks. No matter what you do, it sucks. Especially if you want to vape 70, 80, 90, 100 watts, sucks. Okay? With this mod, you could throw in a 2700. Now your 1, maybe 2 hour battery life, if you don't vape that much, isn't so bad on an 18650. But now you get 4 hours, 5 hours on this. You could get, I personally get a good 4 hours of battery life on this. I tested it and tested it and tested it again, and I'm getting good 4 hours of battery life. But I want to talk to you a little bit more about that. Let's have another quick one. If you take a look at the battery indicator, okay, you'll see 5 dots. I hope you could see that. You'll see 5 dots. That represents 4.2, 4 volts, 3.8, all right, 3.8 volts, 3.6 volts, and 3.4 volts. And this has a cutoff of approximately 3.4 volts. And actually, each battery mark is a little bit higher. So for example, when one battery light goes out, it's 3.85 volts. Okay? Then it's, when 2 lights are out, it's 3.65 volts. All right? So by the time you get to your last battery indicator, when you get to your very last dot, okay, you have a few puffs and you're done. I'm just letting you know this, okay, up front. But you'll already have about 4 hours battery life by then. You may even have, if you don't vape too often, you're stuck at work, or things are just getting out of control and you didn't have a chance to vape too much, you might get good 5 hours, 5.5 hours battery life. Really, that's what I love about 2700 batteries or 2700 battery mods. Same thing with my Pulse. I'm getting a good 4 hour battery life with this. As you see, the dead rabbit's back on top again. And this too. Series Cloud Chucker. Very good flavor. Silly, the battery's dead. I know it already. I didn't change the battery. Okay, and that's only with 70-30 juice. This is my Butterfinger milkshake. That's a 70-30 juice. That's actually really good. And the best thing about it is you got this great battery life. But now you've heard a lot of negative stuff online or in these reviews. Does it hold up? Can it really give me 70 watts? Can it give me 80 watts? Well, what I'll say is this. If you build low, and I got, like I said, I got a 0.13, which comes out to 0.14 in here. And actually, that's probably accurate, because sometimes after the coils settle in, it jumps up a little bit. So that's probably very, very accurate. I should really test. I should throw it on another mod and test that. But you throw in some low builds in here, and you can easily vape 70, 80 watts in here, no problem. Now, if you want to vape 90 watts or 100 watts, I'm going to tell you right now, your battery life is going to suck. And I didn't really test it. Like I said, I don't have the lungs right now to test it. Maybe in a week or two, my lungs are better. I'll test it out and kill my lungs again. But what's the point? If you vape 100 watts, you don't buy a 100-watt mod. You just don't. That's just dumb. But if you're vaping 40, 50, 60, 70 watts, occasionally 80 watts, maybe even once in a blue moon, a 90 watt, I mean, hey, let's do it, right? Let's do it. Let's throw this right now. Yeah, 86 watts. 86 watts, okay? Let's bust a cloud. Let's bust a cloud just for the hell of it. And if my lungs don't like it, my lungs don't like it. Whew. Yeah, trust me, it's doing 86 watts. I'm not taking away nothing from Daniel, from DJ Ellis Vapes. Okay, I'm just putting it back on 70 watts. But I almost feel that he would have to retest this, because this is a production unit. This is retail unit. And I think what he got was a pre-production, and they didn't do all the tweaks yet. And it could be because I would have to ask him some questions, but I'm not guaranteeing that with a fresh battery this will definitely do 100 watts. It's probably doing close. 96, 98 watts. You know what I mean? Something like that. And if you're worried about 1 or 2 watts here or there, I just personally can't. Like, I got it on 70 watts right now. Okay, 70 watts. I hope you can see it. If it's doing 69 watts, or if it's doing 71 watts, come on. I can't. Now, but in general, I say it does it. I say it does the 90 watts, it does 100 watts. Just don't expect your battery to be all that great. And if you're really going to be doing 100 watts, you kind of need all 5 bars. You know what I mean? See, I still have 5 bars here. All right, I still have 5 bars here. But, once you start going to 4 bars or 3 bars, you're probably not getting 100 watts. You're probably getting more like 95, and then like 92 watts, and then 90 watts. Which brings me to my last thing. Vaping at normal wattage, 50, 60, 70, even 80 watts. Even 80 watts with a low ohm build, it will give it to you until you have only 2 battery bars left or 3.6 volts. That's when you're going to notice it's starting to dip. Your whatever you set it at, it's not giving it to you anymore. It's giving you maybe 2 or 3 watts lower. And usually by that time, when I see I'm on 2 bars left, I'll put this at 75 watts instead of 70 watts. And that takes care of the business. And then when I'm on 1 bar left, I usually change my battery by then. Okay, there's just I don't see why I change my batteries and all my mechs by the time they reach 3.5 volts anyway. So by the time it reaches 3.4 volts, it's time to pull the battery. Regulated or not regulated, I don't care if some regulated mods go down to 3.2 or even 3.0. I don't care. It's time to pull the battery. 3.4 volts. Pull your battery. Now give yourself some juice. You know what I mean? But anyway, I want to show you something else. I actually bought the kit. I spent $55. I spent $55 for, and it's just a pain in the rear to get this apart. This is like a sleeve or whatever, okay? And then you get like a nice box. You know, you get a nice little box. Comes with the RDA. I didn't set it up yet. I was actually going to put a higher ohm coil in here. I was gonna, even though it's a dual coil RDA, I was gonna make it like a single coil RDA, and just to show you different ohms. It actually works. I threw a couple of RDAs on top of this mod. They're all low builds, but one's like a 0.19 ohm build, and the other one's a 0.22 ohm build, and I didn't have any problems with 0.22 at all. I ran it as high as 75 watts. Did it give me 75 watts? I don't really think so. Maybe it only gave me 70, but like I said, I'm probably, you know, maybe it gave it to me, but I also tested on a somewhat low battery, so, but it worked fine. I was able to vape it, you know, and that was my point. I should have rebuilt this just to show it to you that it's really not bad. But they give you a lot of extras in here. I know you've seen some reviews already, but I had to show it to you. They give you like all these extras. First off, obviously, I got the battery. So that's, you know, really the main difference. You got to have, you know, I didn't have to buy the kit, but I looked at it this way. I could get the mod for $35. For $14, I get an RDA that I could play with occasionally. And for $7, even more than that, I could get the battery. So altogether, it's like, you know, $55. That's what I paid. $55. You know, to me, it was worth it. Battery, RDA, you get to play with everything. And it also guarantees me a few other things, because I don't know what comes in just the single mod kit. I don't know what, does an extra bottle come with it? Does, you know, does the battery adapter come with it? This is the 18650 battery condom, they call them, you know, they want to call them condoms now, or whatever. It's a battery adapter, you want to call it a condom, okay, call it a condom. You get cord, you get like 2 screwdrivers, okay, you get the extra bottle, and I use this bottle really every day since I have the mod. Only today really I'm using the other bottle, and this is a good bottle. It works, but I feel that the softer bottle, I can feel when I press and squeeze, I can feel the juice go up, all right, and then if I can't hear it go, you know, make that little farting noise when it's sucking the juice back down, you could feel it in your finger. It go bloop, you know, you feel that air bubble come back out. And by, you know, maybe because I'm a fisherman, I'm used to feeling things with my fingers. The soft bottle, you can really feel it with this plastic bottle. Yeah, you know what I mean? And you also get a bag with a whole bunch of goodies in it. O-rings, coils, you know, a couple of screws, another 5-10 pin. I'll be honest with you, they give you a lot of little goodies here in the box that, to me, it was worth it to get the full kit. Like I said, you know, some people disagree with me. Some people say, "Oh, I would never use the RDA, and I have batteries already." Or whatever. I don't know. I like the box. I'm gonna wind up using this box for little knickknacks soon. You know, I'm just keeping it like this for now, but pretty soon I'm gonna be using it for some knickknacks. Throw in there, you know, a little jewelry, all the little stupid stuff. You just throw it in there and it looks nice. Whatever, it's a cheap box, but, you know, whatever. I think they did a good job on packaging, is what my point is. I also got the Bolt RDA. Like I said, I think it's called Godria or Godria Limited or something like that. Really good bottom and top airflow RDA. I basically have the bottom 1/3 closed down, maybe half closed down sometimes, a little more open, a little less open, depending upon, you know, whatever. And the top, I have only open a pinhole, and it's hard to see, but it's just a pinhole, like a little circle. right there in the corner. And the way I have it turned or whatever, that pinhole is like basically dead center in the coil. Okay? So I now have bottom airflow coming up for 90%, 90% of the flavor. And this little pinhole just to give it more clouds, if that makes sense, while not robbing too much flavor. And I think, especially with this, I think the flavors kick ass. I basically got a goon build deck, yet it has bottom airflow on it. And I'll be honest with you, sometimes I closed off this top airflow or side airflow, whatever. And I close that off and you get more flavor. But I'm willing to sacrifice 5% flavor, 10% flavor for more clouds. I don't mind it. It gives it, also maybe cools off the coils a little bit better. I threw on, from my Dead Rabbit, the black Delrin drip tip on here to make it all blacked out and everything. I got the red back. This comes in red or blue in the back. But to make it all blacked out. And like I said, I only put this bottle in just recently to test it out, see if it's better, and it is better. A lot better. For me, it's a lot better to squeeze it, and then I feel a little boop. And now I know it sucked all the juice out. I feel like a little boop at the end. And see, I just felt it again. And so to me, that's really good. Yeah, buddy. This shit is dynamite. Really good flavor. Nice clouds. Couple of cons, though. Couple of cons. The positive 510 pin is long enough for a mech mod, but I would have liked it a little bit longer. What I'm noticing a lot from a lot of Chinese-made coils, and not that this is necessarily, it's made in China, is that they've been kind of making the 510 pins shorter and shorter and shorter. And this is kind of a short 510 pin, so it works on all my mods but my old RX 200. Other than that, really that's it. This is really a great kit. It's not underpowered. It's not, like the reviews are saying, it's not underpowered. It really kicks ass and gives you, the punch that you might want and need. I'm telling you, it's a winner. A definite winner. The combination is unbelievable. But the mod itself, even if you don't want to get this RDA, you want to just use the RDA in the kit or use something else, this mod is really good. And I want to show you, just before I go, take a look at size comparison. That's not bad. Okay? That's not bad. Just to give you a size comparison, regulated mod, almost smaller. Like I said, almost smaller than the Pulse and some other 2700 mods. So for regulated, this is the deal. I'm telling you, the Capo Squonk mod and the Godria Bolt RDA, this is what you want. This is what you need. You have an awesome day.